Hey, how are you doing? I think we're doing pretty good. Hey, we just wrapped up 30 days of stay-at-home orders. That's 720 hours of shelter in place, get out of my face. Well, I'm not sure that's how they worded it, but it kind of felt that way at times. And we just heard a few hours ago that in our metropolitan area, they are asking us to extend that order for another 30 days. Who would have imagined? Now, I don't think that most of us are all that surprised that they're extending that, but we really weren't prepared for it. I'm Stephen Iverson, and those of you who have seen me speak, and if we're just getting acquainted, you may know that I speak about disruption. Not this kind of disruption, but the disruption that happens in businesses and in personal lives from the introduction of new ideas, new technology, innovations, new methods that might take an old traditional way of doing things and literally turning it upside down in order to meet a need in a more efficient way, a quicker way, a more satisfying way. And so what I talk about is 4 fundamentals that we could tap into that would help us turn disruption into a competitive advantage. But nobody was expecting a global disruption that would literally put us on pause for as long as we have been. And no one really knows quite what to expect in the days and weeks and months to come, or maybe even the next year or two. But as I think about it, the 4 fundamentals that we address in regards to how to stay positive and competitive still apply. One of those fundamentals is the idea of collective power. When we look at organizations and businesses that have literally started up within the last 24 months or so and had a global influence and changed the way businesses have worked, we see that one of the key pieces of their business model is a gig economy or shared economy, where they have a certain element that they want to provide, a service maybe they want to provide. But in order to do that, they need to partner with other individuals who have elements of that service or product, but they don't have a means by which to get it to the customers. And so this collectiveness coming together is what accelerates meeting a need, servicing people, satisfying them in a quicker way and a more lasting way. And guess what I'm noticing? During this coronavirus crisis, the collective power is starting to rise up, but in very different ways. Not so much for the additional revenue or to try to muscle in on some market share, but to literally serve humanity. Let me give you an example. Not far from where we live, there's a company called Sandlot Goods. They normally make leather products, leather journals, purses, wallets, incredible quality. But the market right now isn't really buying those kinds of products. But they understood that they had within their capabilities the tools and the skills to make face masks. And the need and demand for face masks within hospitals and clinics and nursing homes has just skyrocketed. And now in many communities, face masks is a requirement. And so that demand was there, but it's been hard to meet that demand until organizations like Sandlot decided to retool things and begin to make those products so that they could be provided. But here comes the wrinkle, the extra problem that develops when we're trying to adapt to disruption, and that is sometimes we just need a little extra help. We need to tap into other individuals whose talents, whose supply chain, whose network can literally multiply or to scale our capabilities. And so what did they do? They reached out through social media in their network to individuals and invited them to be a part of their cause. They're willing to pay you to do a little sewing. They'll provide the materials if you'll just go ahead and tap into it. Or if you want, you could volunteer. You just take the resources that they provide you, follow the instructions, make as many masks as you can, return them, and all of a sudden the network of people who are meeting a need has multiplied and multiplied, and that's collective power. So let me bring this all back to you, to me. We might not be able to provide what our work usually provides. We might not be able to get on a plane to go and speak at a conference like I usually do. We might not be able to interface with people one-on-one at the coffee shop. And so we're feeling like there's nothing else that we can do. And yet maybe there's another way, another person, a connection that you can make virtually, on the phone, on FaceTime, on Zoom, whatever it may be. Just put out there your abilities, your talents, something that you can help with, and ask people for some ideas of how you can partner together. Or start looking for yourself to see if there's a way that maybe somebody who has a need you could help with. Because that's how we stay competitive, that's how we'll stay relevant, and that's how we will win together.